I'm Debbie Solomon, and I'm the Training Manager at Sological Solutions and GIS247. Thanks for joining me today for this webinar titled E-Learning with GIS247. Now, e-learning is a fast-growing approach for training delivery and for skills development for a wide variety of disciplines. And at Sological Solutions, we've adopted this approach to provide a cost-effective, flexible and repeatable source of training specifically for GIS users with our online service GIS247. We provide full training courses and technical modules for the ArcGIS and MapInfo professional software. For any organisation, the ability for users to gain and develop skills for using their GIS software to get the most out of their data is the key to GIS and to maximising the often significant investment in both the software and data. So, the key to maximising this return on the investment is its success is the skills and knowledge of the users. Traditionally, sending users on training courses to develop this skill and knowledge is costly and only available at certain times. At GIS247, we have changed all this with an easy-to-use, always-on source of training. During the next 45 minutes, I'll take the opportunity to cover a number of topics and provide a demonstration of logging in, navigating and accessing the e-learning at GIS247. The agenda, what we're going to address is: what is GIS247, how it works, how everything is accessed, and some frequently asked questions. The benefits of the e-learning approach for individuals and organisations. I'll outline the type and scope of the training courses and technical modules that are available. And I'll show how the information for the courses and modules are accessed, the presentations, the data and the exercises. I'll also give you a tour of the additional resources that are available to help users plan and manage their training. For example, course timings and keeping track of progress with each user's own dedicated My GIS247 homepage. I'll provide an overview of GIS247's popular training assessment process, and we'll also take a look at the specific experience of some of our users. I'll also explain the role of each organisation's GIS247 administrator and how they can review and manage the performance of their organisation's users. So what is GIS247? Simply put, GIS247 provides an always-on source of full training courses and technical modules to support ArcGIS and MapInfo users. A licence for GIS247 lasts for 12 months and can be renewed annually. There's also the option for a 24-month licence as a saving. During the licence, users have access to all the online training for their chosen software, ArcGIS or MapInfo, or even both. That is, all modules, all courses, all versions. Users can access everything as often as they wish, when they wish and how they wish, from home, in the office, on their own, or in groups following the training together. The training is self-paced and is therefore flexible. All presentations can be repeated and exercises redone. The training courses and modules can be followed in small bits for half a day or a couple of hours at a time, or each course can be followed over consecutive days. It's up to the user to decide how it suits them best. There are two main license types for access to GIS247, Set User or Unlimited. A Set User license can be from any number of set users from 2 to a maximum of 9. Only the number of users is paid for, and the number can be increased at any time. Each set user has access to all the training for the duration of their license. A license becomes unlimited when you have 10 or more users. There is a single flat fee, which means that the number of users from your organisation who can access the training is totally unlimited. Some of our customers have nearly 200 users with GIS247 access. The lowest cost licence is for 2 set users and in UK currency is £850. At the other end is the unlimited number of users licence at £3,250. This is for access for all courses, all modules, all versions for 12 months. Pricing for countries in euros and US dollars can be found on our website. Now for some questions. Do I need access to the GIS software? Yes, you do. You will need access to either the ArcGIS or MapInfo software in order to undertake the exercise component of the training courses. Each course is supplied with its own zip file of data which you download and extract, following the provided instructions, onto the computer of your choosing, which has the software on. You then work through each exercise, which is supplied as a PDF. Each exercise is designed to follow on from a presentation, giving the opportunity to consolidate the skills, tips and tricks covered in the presentation. Now the benefit of this approach is multi. You have the data so you can do the exercise when and where it suits you. You can also repeat the exercise as often as you want and go at your own pace. You don't need to have a dedicated copy of the software. One license can be shared between multiple users. And also, you're not tied to any specific version of the software. You download the data and follow the exercises for the version that you have access to. What if I upgrade the software or install a patch? Well, that's no problem. All our courses are re-released when a new version comes out. There's also a What's New in the latest version course which outlines all the changes together with exercises. As courses and modules are available on all versions of the software, it gives users the advantage of being able to view the presentations and take a look at the What's New course for a version they might be upgrading to. It means that they can access the changes for themselves and hit the ground running when they do get the upgrade. Do I need access to the internet? Yes. In order to watch the presentations for the training courses and modules, you need to log in to GIS247 and click on the presentation you want to view. You can pause, rewind, forward search and repeat the presentations as often as you wish. Once you've downloaded the data and printed the exercises you want, you don't need to be logged in to GIS247 to do these. How does a license work? Each license is tied to the domain name of an organisation, for example, localauthority.gov.uk or organisationx.com. All the users are then set up for that domain, either for the set number of users or for an unlimited number. Who creates the user accounts? You do. Each organisation appoints their own GIS247 administrator, and that administrator sets up your users. It's a really easy job, as it's just a case of typing in the email prefix for each organisation. For example, A. Smith or Andrew.Smith, however it's used by your organisation. It takes about 5 minutes to set up 10 users. Once a user account is made, GIS247 automatically emails that person with their authentication and login details. Is there any support? Can I speak with someone? Yes. We fully support our users to ensure that everything works as it should. Site support is included in every GIS247 license. This ensures that any technical issues are resolved straight away. For example, if someone has a problem viewing a presentation or with their sound, or are simply unsure how to extract a data file or get stuck on something in an exercise, simply phone or email us and our support team will resolve the issue. There is also user support, which is available as an optional add-on. This is at 3 levels: email, live chat or phone. The free site support, though, is usually sufficient for most organisations. However, if any of these additional user support options are required, it can be purchased at any time. And there's also the ability for the administrator to allocate the quota across specific individuals. What about the training course content? Our training courses are designed around a comprehensive training programme, taking users from the beginner level through to advanced. There are also courses that specialise in extensions and specific functions and abilities of the software. There is something for everyone. New users can start at the beginner level and work their way through, or more advanced users can jump in at the intermediate, mastering or specialist level, whichever suits them. A full list of the topics covered is outlined for each course, but the beauty of having unlimited access to everything means that you can start a course that you think is the right level, and if it's not, no problem, you just follow a different course instead. All the training courses are comprised of a series of presentations, followed on by exercises that consolidate what the presentation covered, together with shortcut ways of doing things. The exercises are designed to build up the user's confidence and skills as they go through. For example, the beginner's course first exercise contains pictures showing the different tools, but in later exercises users are expected to remember where and how the different options are accessed. All our trainers who developed the training material are highly qualified and have a wealth of experience in providing training for a range of different application areas. A reflection of this is that all our training courses carry with them accreditation points from a number of highly regarded GIS-related professional bodies, notably the AGI and GIS Certification Institute, and all our trainers are full members of the Institute of IT Training. The benefits of this e-learning approach and how GIS 24/7 works are significant for individuals. For each individual, we provide an always-on source of training and technical information, meaning that they don't get stuck or are limited in what they can do due to lack of knowledge. Also, they're not reliant on other people being available or willing to help. We meet individual need. Each person may have a different use of their GIS and therefore interests and requirements of the functions, so users can follow courses or topics from courses that meet their individual requirement. GIS 24/7 provides flexibility for users to repeat training, watching presentations and redoing exercises so that they can really consolidate what they're learning. Also, they can undertake multiple courses, so individuals with an interest or aptitude can develop their skills further at no extra cost. GIS 24/7 is convenient, so individuals can access the presentations and exercises when they need it, so it's most relevant and for the time duration that suits them. In addition to the course accreditations, the benefit of gaining a GIS 24/7 certificate for their course achievement gives them proof of their skills and increased self-esteem. An example of the individual benefits that having access to training at GIS 24/7 can give are highlighted by Rosie Gilbert from Nottinghamshire County Council and Iona Gerard from Fife Council. Both ladies previously had no GIS experience and have passed the assessments for 7 courses with a number of distinctions. This really is quite an achievement for them. GIS 24/7 also has significant benefits for an entire organisation, giving them the ability to open up the provision of training to new users, discovering hidden talents at no extra cost with an unlimited licence. Again, the examples of Rosie and Iona. The ability to deepen the knowledge of existing users through access to advanced training and technical resources at no extra cost. Gives them more resources by enabling self-service by non-GIS experts, freeing up the experts to deliver even more. And it's an easy way to manage the training budget with a single low fee. It's a way of providing constant access to technical training and support for a full 12 months. An example of the benefits of having access to the always-on training at GIS 24/7 for an entire organisation can be highlighted by Nottinghamshire County Council. They estimated a 900% return on their investment in the amount of training they received alone, 44 users across a range of different training courses. The benefit to increased efficiencies in the use of their GIS, freeing up experts and departments being better able to self-serve are in addition to this, but they're obviously much more difficult to quantify. Okay, so let's take a look at GIS 24/7 and go to the website. So this is the home page of GIS 24/7. This page gives a brief outline of the different aspects to the e-learning on-demand service that we provide. At the top is usually some latest information about training developments, user feedback or forthcoming events, like this one. Further down are links to a variety of information about the software and courses, modules, trials, updates and training assessments. Along the top of the GIS 24/7 website are a series of main tabs. The two tabs of key interest are the What is GIS 24/7 and the Training Catalogue. The What is GIS 24/7 tab provides all the information to outline the GIS 24/7 Learning on Demand approach. On the left are a series of links that provide more detailed information about the different aspects, such as how it works, its benefits, that there's a trial, support options, options for custom and tailored training, the assessment process and accreditation, and our pricing. The training catalogue, though, is the focus of GIS 24/7, and there are three tabs: courses, modules and trials, under which are listed all the training that is available. On the left are links to additional training resources to support the process, such as timing and the skills assessment process, and we'll look more closely at this information a little bit later on. Now the Courses tab provides a full list of the training courses for ArcGIS and MapInfo. These are full training courses which are comprised of a series of structured presentations with follow-on exercises and accompanying data. Courses cover different levels of usability from beginner through to advanced and are available for different versions. The Modules tab lists by category the mini and super modules that are available for the different versions of the ArcGIS and MapInfo software. Mini modules are short presentations which outline specifically how to implement a function, and users watch them and they can then easily copy the function, such as creating a ranges thematic map. Super modules tend to cover a larger topic area and are much longer presentations. Now the difference between the training courses and the modules is this. The training courses offer a fully structured approach to using the software with comprehensive presentations and structured follow-on exercises. They provide a rounded approach to learning the software that different levels of users will need. They take people from beginners with beginner courses through to becoming advanced users with a series of courses that build up their expertise. Courses such as advanced editing, spatial statistics, and spatial analyst extension for the desktop ArcGIS are to name a few of those that are available to support the further development of skills in specific areas. The modules are available as a technical resource so users who have followed some of the training can get a quick refresh or look up how to do something specific. The feedback has been that these modules are particularly useful for intermediate and advanced users who quickly want to check how to do something in particular. In this demo, I'm going to focus on the content of the training courses. Just for completeness, we'll have a quick look at the third Trials tab. The trials give access to 2 presentations and exercises for each version of the software. Anyone can sign up for a trial, and of course you're all welcome to do so. Whether or not there is an additional tab to these depends on your organisation. We provide custom and tailored training solutions for all aspects of the ArcGIS and MapInfo software, whether it's a series of exercises on your data or a full set of training modules on a custom application, and these are available on an additional custom tab for your organisation only. Again, everything on a custom tab has unlimited access for the duration of the licence. Let's log in to the site. So if I click User Login, that gives me the login page. To log in, a user inputs their email, which is based on their organisation's domain. And then they input their password. Once logged in, at the top, the tabs on the GIS247 site change slightly, and I've landed at my GIS247 homepage. This page is unique to each user in terms that on the left-hand side of the page it lists their details under user profile together with their administrator. They have the ability to edit their profile and change the password whenever they wish. Also listed on the left is information on additional training resources such as training course routes, module and course timing information and their training assessment records. And again, I'll return to these resources later. Now above this, there are some links to information a user might need to support them in the use of this e-learning approach, such as the software they'll need to run everything. Basically, what they need is Adobe Flash Player version 7 or later for the presentations and Adobe Acrobat Reader version 7 or later for the exercises, and both are available to download for free. All can be run on Internet Explorer, Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox. Back at the My GIS247 homepage, there are also links to information about how to use GIS247, which fully outline how the presentations and exercises are launched and assets that come with each training course and the colour-coded dots that we'll now come across. And there's also information about the course data and full information about the assessment process. The main body of each user's My GIS247 homepage under Module Progress lists the training material that they've accessed, hence their progress through the courses and modules. As you can see, there are different coloured dots next to the listings. Green means that a user has completed that section of a course, and orange means that the user has only part completed the section. The dots and their colours give a good visual indicator as to a user's progress and can help them keep track of where they got to. Also, if they want to carry on from where they got to, they can just click on the course name or even specific section. Here I'll click on Section 2, Creating and Managing Geodatabases from the Advanced Guide to ArcGIS 9.3 course. And here we've jumped straight into this section, and now I can access the presentations and exercises and complete it. If I just go back, you'll see that the training catalogue can also be accessed the usual way, either from the top tab or from the important links on the left-hand side. On the Courses tab of the training catalogue, all the courses for the specific software of my licence, either ArcGIS or MapInfo, will now be in green, indicating that I've got access. It's possible to have a licence for both the ArcGIS and MapInfo software, and indeed some of our customers do, either unlimited for both or a combination of unlimited and set user. By default, a user will have access to all courses, all versions, and all mini and super modules for their licensed software. Again, access is one of the aspects that can be controlled by your organisation's GIS247 administrator, and I'll outline this later. To access a specific course this way, you can either click on the software version heading, so here I'm going to click on ArcGIS 9.3, and then choose the course of interest. Or you can click directly on a course and go to its course page. Here I'm going to click on the Mastering ArcGIS 9.3 course. This is a really comprehensive course and is suitable for new users and those with some experience. This is the course page, and it shows the course structure together with accessible course assets. The first asset is a fact sheet. This is a summary PDF that can be saved and printed listing topics that are covered. It's the same information that can be opened up on screen. The next asset is a PDF README file which gives instructions on how the course data file and maps file should be unzipped onto your computer which has the software on. These two files are required to undertake the exercise component of the course. Basically, the contents of the file should simply be extracted using full paths. The advantage of each course having its own set of data and maps is that you have a permanent copy of it, have the flexibility to install it on the PC of your choosing, and can reuse the data and exercises again and again. Now that we're logged in, the course sections have a different number of coloured dots next to them. The number of dots indicates the number of parts for a section. We can easily see that section 1 has one part and therefore one exercise, whereas section 5 has two parts with two exercises. The colour of the dots reflects whether the user has completed that section part. A green dot indicates the user has completed both the presentation and the exercise. An orange dot indicates the user has only part completed, either the presentation or the exercise, and a red dot indicates the user has not completed anything. Let's take a look at section 5 using spatial data. This page shows part 5A is focused on controlling the display and 5B is on interactive spatial selection. Both parts have one presentation and one follow-on exercise, and there's a brief textual description for each outlining what will be covered. To start a presentation, simply click the presentation icon. The presentation viewer will open and the presentation can be played pretty much straight away. There's no need to wait for the presentation to download. I'm going to play the presentation, but I do want to flag up to you that the sound you'll hear will be over my mic rather than directly from the computer, so the sound will come across as slightly degraded to what you would see if it was played directly from your computer.
Section 5. Using spatial data. The map scale can be changed by using the various tools from the Tools toolbar. The Zoom In tool enables the user to drag a square or rectangle over the area of interest and the display updates zoomed in centered on that area. The Zoom Out tool can be used in the same way but zooms out centered on the chosen area. The Step In and Step Out tools gradually increase or decrease.
The presentation can be paused at any time. The viewer at the top shows the total presentation running time. On the bottom right there are some controls that allow you to control the volume and maximising the viewer. The slides in the presentation can also be skipped, moved forward and back, and also the play of a specific slide.
If you find yourself spending a lot of time,
can be manually controlled, moving backwards and forwards, and this aspect is extremely useful, particularly if you've just missed something or you just want to recap on something within a presentation.
Created on the currently active data frame in a map document. Choose a bookmark from the Bookmarks menu to return to the extent stored by that bookmark, or choose a bookmark in the Bookmarks Manager dialog and click Zoom to. Note the arrow buttons allow you to reorder the bookmarks in the list.
I can also skip to a slide by clicking on it directly. Let's listen to this presentation.
Some useful functions for aiding the use of the data view are listed on the window menu. The first of these is the Overview window. The Overview window allows you to see the full extent of the data loaded into a data frame with an extent box in the window representing the current extent displayed by the data view. As the display extent of the data view changes, the extent box in the overview will update to show the new extent. You can also control the extent of the data view by directly interacting with the extent box in the overview window. Click and drag the extent box to pan the data view. Click and drag the corners of the extent box to zoom the data view. Making the extent box larger will cause the data view to zoom out, whilst making the extent box smaller will cause the data view to zoom in. The display of the overview window can be controlled by accessing.
The last slide invites the user to undertake the follow-on exercise.
Exercise 5A, Controlling the Display. Exercise 5A will allow you to practice with the functions illustrated for interacting with the data view. In particular, you will experiment with an overview window and setting display thresholds on layers to restrict their visibility to specific scale ranges. You will also use many of the tools illustrated from the Tools toolbar, such as the Identify tool, and try the Bookmarks and My Places functions.
Once finished with the presentation, you just simply click back to go back to the course page. The follow-on exercise PDF can now be opened, and it can be printed or saved by clicking on it. Each exercise PDF is a number of pages that the user works through, trying out and building up the skills that they've just learnt about in the presentation. Each exercise starts with a scenario, which outlines what the user's going to do. And then it takes them through various carefully structured steps, trying out the different functions. You'll see that in the exercise there are some questions that are asked. The user needs to answer these questions, and this helps guide them that they're on the right track. And the answers to these questions also form part of their assessment process. Clicking back takes you to the course page. You will now notice that the dots for both the presentation and the exercise have turned green. This is because I have looked at both of these assets. If I go back to the main page of the mastering course, you'll notice that the dot for section 5A also now shows as green as I've completed it. And if I go back to my GIS247 homepage, here we are, Mastering 9.3, Section 5. It's automatically been added into this as my progress, but it's obviously got an orange dot because I haven't looked at the second part of that section. So this entire section, Section 5, is only part complete at the moment. Now the presentations for version 10 of ArcGIS on our courses, they're slightly different. If I go back to the training catalogue, I'm going to take a look at the What's New in ArcGIS 10 course. Now all the course pages are structured the same. This shows that the What's New course has course assets to support the exercise component of the course and is comprised of 10 different sections. But instead of slide presentations, the presentations are all in-vision presentations which show the actual software in action. We'll have a look at section 7, the new editing environment, which, as you can see, is made up of two parts, 7A and 7B. As you can see, instead of one presentation for each part, there are many shorter ones, which are numbered and named and also show their duration. And the last item listed will be the follow-on PDF exercise. The in-vision presentations are run the same way, by simply clicking to open, and then, once open, pressing play.
Welcome to section 7 of the What's New in ArcGIS version.
This viewer can be moved through similar to the other one. All our presentations are scripted, not ad-libbed, which means that they are easy to understand. Now the resolution is 720p high def, so they're visually clear, and subsequently we have customers that present them to a room of trainees on large projector screens when undertaking group training. Let's play the end of this introduction presentation.
On editing features, concentrating on the changes to the editor toolbar, the snapping environment and the introduction of feature templates. The second part of this section looks at the changes to attribute editing and the ability to incorporate raster datasets in a field.
Now I want to show you how useful these in-vision presentations are. So I'm going to click on the Creating a Feature Template presentation so we can have a good look at this one.
New feature templates can be generated via the Create Features window. This is essential when editing access is permitted to a layer that does not have a feature template. Just click the Organize Templates button at the top of the Create Features window. The feature layers with edit access are listed along with their feature templates. The Plantations layer has no template, so one is created by clicking the New Template button. Confirm the layer on which to generate a template and click Finish. Properties for the template can be set by choosing a template and clicking Properties. Here the default construction tool is altered. Tags to identify the template in searches can also be entered by clicking the Tags button. Adding some tags, and clicking OK. Click Close to close the Organize Feature Templates dialog. Now the new feature template is displayed on the Create Features window. It can be selected and used.
Again, we just click back to go back to the training catalogue. The training catalogue is where users access the course presentations, data and exercises, and obviously we've only had time to look at a couple of the presentations. The GIS 247 site holds a remarkable 6,500 different slide and InVision presentations with over 550 exercises, and we're adding to this constantly. Remember that a license to GIS 247 will give you access to all of the material for your chosen GIS software, including new material as it's added. Now we've taken a look at the training courses, accessed the course assets and viewed the presentations and exercises, we can take a look at some of the additional resources that are available to support each user's individual approach to the training. The first of these is the course timing. This information can be accessed from many different places, but here I'm going to click on the What's New in ArcGIS course to go directly to this page. If I now click on the course timings link from here, it opens up the full list of timings for me. As you can see, the total running time for part 7A of the What's New course is 34 minutes 16 seconds, which is comprised of 21 separate mini presentations, and the follow-on exercise is estimated to take about 25 minutes. This particular course, when followed by 9 to 4 with a break for lunch, should take 2 days to go through. The timing matrix can also be used to click on to jump to a course page. Here we've jumped to the beginners page. The feedback that we've had is that this timing information is really useful at many different levels. For individuals when they want to study a course in different chunks over a number of days or weeks, for organisers when they are accessing GIS 247 to provide group training at the office, and of course for managers in terms of planning enough time for users to undertake the training. Also accessible from both the My GIS 247 homepage and this training catalogue is the module timings. And this allows you to access a full list of timings for all the mini and super modules for all versions of the software. Again, it will help users plan their approach to watching them. Also available from the My GIS 247 homepage and the training catalogue is guidance information on recommended training routes for ArcGIS and MapInfo for different levels of users. Again, the flexibility of GIS 247 with access to everything, that means if a user starts a course that's too advanced, they can simply save it for later and follow another one. Now, another key additional resource that's available to all users for free as part of the license is access to our assessment process, and this process is really popular. The assessment and accreditation page outlines that in addition to our courses being accredited by the AGI and GIS Certification Institute, it's possible to achieve a certificate as proof of your skill level from completing each training course. Users don't get a certificate for just completing a course. Each user can submit an assessment, and if they pass, they are then awarded a certificate, and the pass mark is 70%, so it's quite rigorous. Each assessment is comprised of all the answers from all the exercises that should have been followed through a course, which means that users must complete the entire course and have a good understanding to get the answers right. An assessment can be either submitted by completing the individual course assessment PDF that can be accessed from each course assets bar, or by using our assessment records approach. The assessment records approach is accessed via my GIS247 homepage. Basically, this approach allows each user to download and keep a customized Excel file which has a worksheet preset for each user and an overall summary of the specified version of the software. The user can input their answers directly into the appropriate worksheet, then save an email to us, and once marked we'll email the file back. This approach is really popular for managers as they have an accessible file to see the achievement of their staff and therefore their increased skill level with the software. It's also popular for individuals as it gives them an objective, reward and real sense of achievement as it flags to their employer their increased value to their business. The assessment process is rigorous and it is a true test of a person's developed skills, and subsequently not everyone passes an assessment on the first attempt. We found that when a user is awarded a certificate, they do get a real sense of achievement and it spurs them on to do more training, such as the example of Rosie from Nottinghamshire County Council, and as I said, the assessments are really popular. Now the last thing that I'm going to show you about GIS 24/7 are some of the capabilities of a GIS 24/7 administrator. Now each organisation with a licence appoints their own administrator, so you're in control of your own training. Now as my login has administrator privileges, I have an additional tab at the top here of company management that you might have noticed, but other users won't get to see this. So if I go into company management, this is my information about my company. A full set of simple to access administrator instructions are on the right here, and they're opened as a PDF file. It's full of example scenarios of how the different functions can be set up. I'm going to take you through just a few of these. First of all, on the left, this lists all the users in my company which I've decided to give access to GIS 24/7. You can add and delete these as often as you wish with an unlimited license. Now to check on an individual's progress, all you have to do is click on an individual's name and it will show you the course parts and modules that they've looked at. If you don't want to go into each individual separately, you can at the top here click View User Part Progress and it will give you a full list of everything that each user has looked at. And also if you want to download this list, you can by clicking the Export User Assets View option, and it means that you can take this out into other reporting software if you wish, and then you can create other reports quite easily. New users can be easily added by clicking Add User. Adding a user is really straightforward. If you go down to the bottom and click Copy Company Information, the form is populated and all you have to do is put in the first and second name and the prefix of the email address. You then click Add User and that user is automatically emailed their authentication and login details. Inevitably, some users forget their passwords, so the administrator can easily reset them by clicking Resend Authentication. Another ability is to create groups of users. Now some customers do this by teams or geographical location or ability. It's up to you how you want to create a group. To create a group, you simply click Manage Groups. The groups that I already have will be listed and I can click Edit and add extra users in, take them out, rename it if I want to. To add a new group, simply click Add Group, give my group a name, choose the users I want to add to that and click Add. Now the final ability I'm going to show you is that access can be restricted to software version courses or even specific courses at the individual level, for whole groups or indeed globally. This option is really useful if you want to ensure that users don't follow the training for the wrong version, or if you want to make sure that they complete it in a certain duration or follow them in a specific order. To restrict access for an individual, all you have to do is click the Edit Course Access. So I'm going to do that for myself. And this will give me the full list of all the headings that are available. I'm going to deny myself access to the ArcGIS 10 courses and now submit that. And if I go back to the training catalogue, you'll now notice that those courses are in red. I do not have access to them. I can look at their structure, but now I can no longer access the presentations and exercises. Obviously, if I want to change the access restrictions, my administrator can go in and do that at any time. Okay, so that completes the live demo part of GIS 24/7. If we just go back and just finish off this webinar, I just want to say thank you to everyone for attending and spending the last 50 or so minutes with me, and I hope you found the webinar about e-learning with GIS 24/7 useful. As I said, if you've got any further questions about GIS 24/7, please email me. You can email me directly at debbie@gis247.com. And also, you're really welcome to sign up for a free trial of GIS 24/7, which lasts for 30 days. And it'll give you access to that special trial area that I mentioned, and you'll be able to view some selected presentations and download data with exercises, and it'll give you a hands-on go at trying out GIS 24/7 for yourselves. So in the meantime, everyone, many thanks, and I hope you have a great day.